How can we get the artifacts mod? This mod adds about 40 items and accessories with unique effects, and well, it's a mod that's widely used in series. Here are all the items. And to get artifacts, you simply go to CurseForge and search for artifacts. As you can see, it's a mod with almost 100 million players, updated a month ago and created 6 years ago. Simply go to Files, Mod Loaders, Forge, all versions, and pick the one you want. In my case, 20.1. Click the three buttons and download the file, and do the same with what's listed in relations. Okay, you'll need the Curious API and the Cloth Config API, though it says optional, it's required. I understand it also depends on the mod loader. If you're using Forge, it's mandatory, and then you'll also need Architecture. It's this one here, the Architecture API, you'll need that too. And all these mods will save in Windows plus R, App Data, Roaming, Minecraft, and the mods folder. If it doesn't exist, right-click, New, and create the folder. Important, some versions might require, look, trinkets is for fabric, okay? It says so here. Cloth config is also for fabric. If using NeoForge, we'll need Curious, Cloth config, Architecture, and others, okay? Just so we're aware that they're going to require these, okay? I'm going to show the artifacts menu, and when you get artifacts and curios, the player's inventory will display a new square button, okay? This one here, which when pressed opens an additional interface with specific slots for accessories. Okay, 2 hand slots, 1 foot slot, 1 collar slot, and 1 head slot. Artifacts are equipped, okay, by dragging them into the corresponding slot. For example, plastic goes on the head, okay? Or we can also equip it by simply right-clicking with the item in hand or shift-clicking. Got it? Important, shift-clicking only works when Curios is activated, okay? If not, it won't work. So that's the main thing you need to know to start with this mod. Okay, how do you get artifacts and mimics in Minecraft with the artifacts mod? In artifacts, you can't craft any artifacts, alright? We'll find them in structure chests, villages, biomes, dungeons, all kinds of places, okay? It's worth mentioning that there's special mob generation where some artifacts can appear equipped on mobs, okay? Like skeletons, drowned zombies, husks, and other mobs that can have these types of items equipped, right? I don't know if I spawn a few now. I'll be lucky enough to see one appear, but theoretically, they can spawn with equipped items, okay? Though I understand that spawning them directly like this doesn't really let me demonstrate it. We can also find these items through archaeology, okay? Also, I should explain that some chests might transform into mimics, alright? These are creatures that will attack you, okay? You think it's just loot, but they'll attack you. They're like chests found in structures and such. They have 60 health, they're very strong, but when defeated, they'll drop an artifact item. It's that simple. Very well. How to use the umbrella and have infinite food. In artifacts, there are 3 key artifacts for direct use in your hand. These are the umbrella, the everlasting beef, and the eternal steak. Okay, first of all, we have the umbrella, which functions as a shield, right? By holding right click, we block attacks just like a normal shield, and it also acts as a glider, okay? We can jump from an elevated area and glide down. It has no durability, so it's a permanent shield as long as you're alive. It can go in your offhand and is compatible with other shield mods that allow parrying and such. Then we have the everlasting beef and the eternal steak. Basically, it's infinite food that doesn't get consumed when eaten. They have a cooldown of about 15 seconds between uses and drop extremely rarely from cows, about 1 in 500. Plus, they can be found in chests, in bastions, villages, and so on. The drop rates can be adjusted in the artifacts configuration, okay? If we use the mod menu, it's important to note that everlasting beef can be cooked to get the eternal steak, okay? And this gives you a much better food source. Okay, how can we use artifacts, hats, and glasses in Minecraft? Basically, the head slot is where most quality of life improvements are concentrated, enhancing eating speed, vision, trading, loot, and more. We have the plastic drinking hat, which basically reduces the time it takes to drink items or eat them. It makes drinking 150% faster and eating 50% faster. Then we have the novelty hat, which does more of the same. The snorkel gives water breathing for about 15 seconds, renews while worn, and lets you stay underwater without losing air for long periods if managed well. We also have night vision goggles, which give you night vision. We have the villager hat, which significantly reduces trading prices with villagers, for example, going from 35 down to 15 emeralds. We also have the Suspicious Superstitious hat, which adds an extra level of looting to any mob you kill. We have the Cowboy hat, which increases horse mounting speed by about 40% and makes horses move faster. And we have the Angler's hat, which basically applies an extra level of lure and luck of the sea to fishing. So there you have it, alright? All the helmets that the Artifacts mod adds. Today, how can we boost mining with Artifact? The Artifacts mod includes several relics designed to improve mining and resource collection. One of them is the Lucky Scarf, which basically adds an extra level of fortune to mined block. Then we have the Digging Gloves, which increase mining speed even when mining by hand. So we also have the Pickaxe Heater, which automatically mines ores we've already mined, which is really overpowered. There's the Onion Ring, which temporarily gives a mining boost after eating food. We also have Rooted Boots, which slowly replenish your hunger bar while walking on grass. This complements the Onion Ring nicely. It's not directly related to mining, but helps with exploration, and since exploring uses food, it can be useful. And that's a quick look at these items. How can we improve our combat effectiveness using artifacts? First, we have necklaces like the Cross Necklace, which increases your invulnerability time after taking a hit, making it harder for enemies to chain multiple attacks against you. We also have the Panic Necklace, which grants a temporary speed and movement boost after taking damage, useful for repositioning or escaping. Then there's the Shock Pendant, which gives you a chance to strike your attacker with lightning when you're hit. The Flame Pendant can set enemies on fire when you hit them and grants you temporary fire immunity when activated. And finally, the Thorn Pendant works like permanent thorns armor. When hit, there's a chance your attacker will take damage. There are also different gloves like Feral Gloves, which give us more attack speed and more movement speed, which is basically plus 0.4 speed. We have the Power Glove, which gives us plus 4 damage points. We have the Fire Gauntlet, which makes melee attacks set hit creatures on fire. The Pocket Piston, which increases knockback when hitting, pushing enemies further away. And we have the Vampiric Glove, which basically turns your melee attacks into lifesteal, recovering about 20% of damage dealt as health. There's also the Golden Hook, which is nothing more than a way to increase experience gain by about 75%. There's an item called the Wither Bracelet in newer versions that gives a chance to apply the Wither effect for 8 seconds. And we have the Whoopee Cushion, which is a fart cushion that can be equipped in any curious slot and randomly makes a characteristic sound when crouching. The more cushions you have equipped, the higher the chance of activation, and although its function is mainly cosmetic, it's an official part of the content. It's true this one doesn't do damage, but I thought it was funny to include it. Alright, how can we improve mobility with artifact boots in Minecraft? The boots and footwear for artifacts modify the way we can move. For example, we have Aqua Dashers, which are water boots that let you run on liquids while sprinting, both water and lava. It's important to note that if you stop, you'll sink. Then we have Bunny Hoppers, which are rabbit boots that increase jump height and give total immunity to fall damage. We have Kitty Slippers, which are cat slippers that make creepers run away from you and not approach or explode. We have Running Shoes, which, as you can see, give us about 40% more speed and let us climb blocks without jumping. We have Snowshoes, which prevent you from sinking into powder snow. We have Steadfast Spikes, which are anti-knockback claws. They provide 10 points of knockback resistance and 1 point of slip resistance in combat, and mob hits basically won't move us much at all. And we have Flippers, which drastically improve swimming speed, but their effect is most noticeable when you're completely underwater, okay? Outside water, you'll notice it a bit too, but you need to be submerged for full effect. And then in newer versions, there are Strider Shoes, which are basically lava boots, okay? They let you walk on lava while crouching and protect against hot blocks. If you stop crouching, you'll sink and could drown. Alright then, how can we fly and double jump with artifacts? Well, basically we have several items like the Cloud in a Bottle, which is equipped in the belt slot and allows you to perform a double jump as you just saw. The second jump, as you can see, has more momentum than the first one, okay? Then we have the Helium Flamingo, also equipped in the belt slot, which lets us swim. It allows us to swim through the air, so to speak, for a short period of time. That is, if we do this theoretically, there it is, okay? We can float around for a while before we're pulled back down here and grounded. And then we have the Charm of Sinking, which basically lets us move freely through water and other fluids as if they offered no resistance, as you're seeing. There's also another charm called Shrinking, which makes the player smaller when equipped. Got it? So that's it. Alright, how to use survival artifacts. Besides combat and movement, we also have various artifacts that help us survive, such as the obsidian skull, which basically makes the wearer temporarily immune to fire damage when they've been hurt by fire. We also have the antidote vessel, which reduces the duration of negative effect, universal attractor, which basically pulls nearby items toward you. We also have the crystal heart, which gives us an extra 10 maximum health. We have the chorus totem, which says a fatal blow will teleport you somewhere instead of killing you. Basically, it works like a lifesaver. We also have in other versions, the warp drive, a recent artifact that changes how ender pearls are consumed. While wearing it, pearls won't be consumed, but each teleport uses hunger instead. And then we have the scarf of invisibility, which basically makes us invisible, okay, if we have it equipped. So that covers all the items from the artifact mod. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in future videos.